So right now as a student admissions lead, my role is to get students enrolled into high school. And then once they're in the high school, we pass them all along to like our alumni and college counselors to get them out of, high school in the traditional like 4 years and whatnot, and then go off to college or whatever their pathway looks like after graduation. So I'm constantly on the day to day doing like enrollment paperwork, making sure that we're trying to make the pipeline into education here in Chicago as barrier free and as accessible as possible. Because we recognize over at our Noble network, the populations it is that we work with and serve on a day-to-day basis are, communities that don't have the funding in their school districts or in their communities just generally that wealthier communities would be able to have access to on a day-to-day basis. So throughout this pandemic, for example, we've distributed Chromebooks to every single student in our network to make that enrollment and registration process easier for the folks it is that we work with, to make remote learning more accessible and all of that good stuff. So we're always about accessibility and making sure that everything's translated into the languages it is that we work with the communities we work with and whatnot. So that's my role. That's what I do on a day-to-day basis. Right now, we're working on a lot of Excel formulas. So if anyone listening to this broadcast here has any experience and is really experted in Excel, please let me know afterwards because I need a lot of help figuring out different formulas online. Anyways, that was just a quick side, a plug in there. So as far as like, I work specifically with ninth graders and entering and transferring high school students. So our college counselors are the ones that do the bulk work of what high school or what life looks like post high school. So currently, I don't do a lot of work within that realm. However, when I used to be a graduate student at Kent State University, I just graduated from there a year ago with my master's degree. I did a lot of work in the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. As well as when I was a student back in Des Moines, Iowa, I did a lot of work with the Des Moines Metropolitan School District there. And the bulk of my work across both of those institutions in these two areas was to go out to high schools and speak to students about what college readiness looks like. And it wasn't until I got to grad school that we changed our college readiness mindset to just the life readiness mindset. So a lot of the work and workshops that I created and facilitated with high school students on a monthly basis were around, all right, let's work on what a resume looks like and what a personal statement looks like. But how can we also tailor that to make sure that a resume can also be applicable to like a job that you want to apply for if college isn't the thing that you want to do after high school. If we want to work on, bettering our ACT scores and SAT scores, that's cool. But how can we also tailor our workshop material to, just incorporate better study habits just generally across the board, just to get you to, be successful throughout the last 2 years of your high school experience. I work primarily with juniors and seniors. So that's a little bit of the work that I've done in my previous roles. And it's always been neat to see, like, when I would walk in, they would just look like I had to build trust with the students first, right? But after being able to build trust and let people know that I'm not just the college lady coming in to talk about college, but like I want to come in and chat with you all about different, pathways that can still let you be successful in life that don't include having to go to a traditional 4-year college. It was always really neat to see how much more open the students would be talking to me about what it is they wanted to do afterwards. So I'm personally a big believer, and people always kind of look at me sideways when I say this, like just me being an educator, like I don't think that college is for everybody, and I think that that is totally okay. But as long as we are providing our students in our high schools with the opportunities and with the overall vision that you can still be successful without a college degree, and providing them the tools and resources to get there, in my eyes, that's a win in my book. And that's the mindset that I try to instill in the students that I work with in various nonprofits that I work with, and then students that I've worked with in the past as well.